From mourning to morning. Grief is what we feel on the inside when we experience a loss, while mourning is often viewed as how we externally express and process that grief. Both are essential to the human experience of loss and play crucial roles in how individuals and communities cope with and eventually adapt to significant changes in their lives. Grief is that echo that resonates in our hearts and in our souls. It's not just the sharp sting of losing a beloved aunt or the feeling that comes when you've just gone through a breakup. It's also the pervasive sense of disorientation that blankets us during life-altering events. Grief, in its elusive complexity, touches us emotionally, spiritually, physically, socially. Grief may usher in a full range of emotions like anger or shock or frustration or deep sadness or relief. You may find yourself sleeping all day or unable to sleep, eating everything or without an appetite. At times, it creeps in silently, lurking in the background without causing much trouble. And at other times, it can be as disruptive as a storm, leaving us breathless. I realize that grief is not just an experience of loss, but it is also a testament to our capacity for resilience and change. It's about finding light in the darkest of times and somehow emerging stronger and more connected to the essence of what it means to be human. Grief informs and shapes us, often in ways we don't expect. How has grief shaped you? For some, this is a journey marked by quiet reflection and solitude. For others, a path walked with the close company of loved ones. We might find ourselves confronting questions about our purpose, our relationships, our deepest values. And amidst the turbulence, there's also the potential for profound transformation, a reevaluation of sorts of what truly matters in our lives. In these moments, in the rawness of our emotions, we often discover strengths we never knew we had. What has grief taught you about you? As the night of grief envelops us, we find ourselves lost in its depths, where time blurs and the world outside seems distant and muffled. This night is not just the absence of light for some, it's a necessary passage, a profound experience where we come face to face with our deepest vulnerabilities and fears. Yet, it is in this very darkness that we slowly learn to see with different eyes. The stars of memory, of love and connection, though faint, guide us gently, reminding us that the light that once was will be again. What has grief taught you about seeing in the dark? Just as the darkest hour precedes the dawn, our mourning, mourning, too has its own rhythm, its own ebb and flow that quietly leads us toward a new morning, morning. This morning is not just the arrival of a new day, it symbolizes a fresh start, an emergence from the shadows of grief. It brings with it a soft light of hope, a gentle reminder that even in the longest of nights and after the longest of nights, the sun rises again. What has grief taught you about sunrises? In the morning light, the world seems different. Our loss, not forgotten, but the sharp edges of pain have dulled just a bit, softened, by the passage of time and the process of grief and the warmth of new beginnings. Both mourning and mourning teach us that life, despite its inevitable losses, is a cycle of endings and beginnings, of night and day. We learn to embrace both the joy and the sorrow, understanding that to experience one, we must also accept the other. Through mourning, we find mourning. It's a journey that reaffirms life in all its complexity, a testament to the human spirit's resilience. And as we step into the light of this new day, we carry with us the lessons of the night, a deeper appreciation of life's fleeting beauty, the strength born from our vulnerabilities, and the enduring power of love that transcends even the finality of loss. But remember, we cannot get to mourning without going through mourning. It is the mourning that shows us the light.